We just finished the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, and we have thoughts, baby. But before we get into that, let's get through the plot. So going into it, we just finished the third level, which is the first of the continuous narrative levels, and we are introduced to is it the Iron Tangle? Is what it's called?
That's the name of the train
system. The name of the train system. So the fourth floor is just a huge spaghetti bowl of train systems. And our group that consists of Princess Donut, Carl, and Katya have to figure out how to maneuver it and make it to the stairs that happen to be at the lower levels.
Overall, our spoiler-free thoughts off the bat, and then we'll get into spoilers.
Exactly. So, thoughts on the characters?
Characters, I think we get a lot of... This is one of my highlights of the book. I think I have more negatives with this than most of the Dungeon Crawler Carl books so far, but the characters are not any of my issues with the book. I think you get character development from every single character in this book. We get deeper with Donut, we get deeper with Carl, we get way deeper with Katya, and I think I said in the last review, was it the last one? Yeah, because that's the first time Katya shows up. I think Katya is going to be the heart of the series going forward.
I remember you saying that.
And I stand by that. I think that she will continue to be the heart of the series.
She's like forward. The mom of the group.
And even like characters that we've had from previous books, spoilers from the previous two books, by the way. We're going to be getting into everything that has led up to this. So if you haven't read Dungeon Crawler Carl book 1 or 2, we have reviews for those.
Check those out.
Check out our spoiler-free thoughts on those ones.
They're a good time.
But we have characters showing up from this one that we haven't seen since book 1.
Yep.
And I think even where those characters are, it makes sense. And the scheme of things, the crazy scheme of the Dungeon Crawler Carl world, it's not like we're getting super deep here. It's still Dungeon Crawler Carl, but as far as characters go, big fan of these characters. Jay?
Well, I loved how there were certain characters that you have that, they're not really important, and the story doesn't dwell on them. The story just keeps going, and it's like, here's the important thing this character is going to do. Now, we're going to move on. You don't need to worry about that character now, and I appreciated that. I think it doesn't waste your time. It gives you time with the characters that you want to be with, and it doesn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah, no, I think the characters were definitely the biggest strength. Similar to what Oz was saying, there were some characters from the first book that we had reintroduced. I will say this is the first time, we're on level 4. Towards the end of this book, we definitely get not like an Avengers team up of characters, but it opens up the world. There are other dungeon crawlers, and we start to meet them. They have different power sets and move sets than our trio do, and it's introduced to them. They end up working together to do stuff, and I liked that. Now, we've got the characters out of the way. Plot. So it's really hard to give spoiler-free on the plot, but just based off of what we can talk about without spoiling Oz, what did you think?
I think I was much more forgiving of the plot of this because at the beginning of the book, and it's not in the audiobook, so if you haven't read the physical book, you're missing this part of it, that Matt Dinniman has a little excerpt at the beginning of the book, and he's like, hey, I understand that the train system is confusing. As you're reading this, just don't worry about it and just enjoy the journey that the characters are going on. And so I was much more forgiving of it, but I mean, the train is a big part of this book. And so for me to get fully on board with it, I had to understand even a little bit of the train stuff, and I just never did. I was always confused with the train. And so the train, that being the main dungeon that this is on, I didn't like it. And so it made it harder for me to get on board with this book.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
No, I completely agree. The setting of this book is the part that takes away from it the most.
Yeah, I'm I haven't struggled with understanding where we are, understanding what the goal is so far in these first two books, and I'm about halfway through the fourth book now. Again, I don't have that problem. So I understand. I hope that we don't go back to this problem that we're having. But
he tried to do something that was a lot, and I think it was cool that he tried it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that in this fourth book, he goes back.
The fourth book, I mean, it can't get any simpler. So, but we're not talking about the fourth book. Dave, what did you think about the plot?
I'll say I'm not as bothered by the train system because I think early on I just turned it off because I was like, this is too confusing. And I almost immersed myself and put myself in Carl's shoes where it's like, this makes no sense and it's really confusing. And I bet it was like that for everybody. So when I just stopped trying to understand it and just went along with the journey, I did enjoy it more. Like towards the end, as you start to pick up on it and understand, like there's points in the books where they explain the different levels or the different stops and how they need to get from here to here and how they can do it. But yeah, it wasn't that bad for me. Now, I will say, like what you're saying in the first book and in the second book, there's no mistake where they are. It's very simple to understand that. And the fourth book definitely feels like a risk that he took. And yeah, you know what? Maybe it didn't pay off for most people, but I think if you can shut your brain off, it works out. Before we get into spoilers, would you recommend this book?
I think you have to recommend this book. There are like major plot points that happen that you can't just skip this one. Like, I'm still on board. It didn't lose me. Like, I still really like Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm still enjoying it. I just don't think it's definitely the weakest of the three so far. But I was prepped for it going into it. So
There were a lot of people that were saying, hey, this one is weaker, and it does go to places that are a lot more mundane. And I kind of agree with that. Some of the plot lines get a little too blurred. And hopefully he fixes that going forward. Who knows if he will? But I still recommend it.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you've made it this far, it's but a bump in the road. So with that, we'll get into the spoiler section.
Can I head? Wait.
First part is your favorite part. One favorite part.
Okay.
Yeah. What was your favorite part, Jay?
Nah, come back to me.
Okay. Well,
Dave, go ahead.
I'll tell you. So we are in the spoiler section. My favorite part has to be when Katya meets up with Hekla, or Hegla, whatever that chick's name is, and gets all the sisters in the same room, and Carl's just like, oh, bitch. Like, oh, F. And you know something's about to go down. Like, this entire time, like, you want to trust that Hekla's good, and then for whatever reason, like, Donut's just fangirling over her, and then at the end of book 2, Audette told Carl, like, hey, Hekla's going to try and get Donut to join. All this is going on. They end up hopping on a train to go save a bunch of people who are at one of the stops. And while they're there, Donut sees she's wearing like special glasses that she was gifted by the Tentacle
Doesn't
Lady
matter,
Princess. She was gifted these special glasses and she's able to see shady stuff. She can see the arrows, the invisible arrows that Hekla is firing into Katya. And so she's like calling her out, you shouldn't have done this. She's an awful person. She's trying to kill Hekla or Katya. But then just like the tension when they're all sitting there and Hekla's like, oh, I've been caught. Okay, well, you know, no point in hiding this. There's another character named Eva who's like taunting Hekla or Katya. And then Katya has this bull rush ability and she tries to rush at Eva who's been taunting her and she missed and it went and killed Hekla, who was like the number like 3 person on the leaderboard.
Was she not number 1?
It was up there.
Up there, yeah.
Yeah.
Guess
She
it
was in the
doesn't
top
matter.
10. And just like that moment, I was like, oh, that was like, I had to like pause for a second to like, whoa, I was not expecting that. But that was definitely like up there as my favorite moment.
What I liked about that moment specifically is that you don't know that like they were right about Hekla. We don't know if they were right because we're only getting their perspective of the situation. So like you're led to believe like, yeah, they were probably trying to kill Katya, but we don't know that. Like it could be the case that Katya, they were doing something to Katya for a reason, and we don't know what their reason was. So it could come back around full circle, and it's like, oh, that's bad that we killed her.
Yeah. Are we moving on to my favorite part?
Yeah, let's hear it.
My favorite part, so we have this whole thing at the end. It's sort of the finale to the book where Carl and Donut and Katya all have to rescue, like, what is it, like 1,000 crawlers almost? They got to save all these crawlers, and then something to do with hats. I can't remember exactly
There
what
was,
it was.
it was like a key to get onto the train or something like that.
Yeah, they all had the hats. And Donut the whole time is like, oh, we're going to have so much money. And then they don't end up getting the hats. But at the very end, after they save everybody, all of them give Princess Donut their hat. And they're like, thank you, Princess. And she's just like, you're welcome. It was no problem at all. And I'm like, that's just, I love Donut. And that's like one of my favorite moments is when she's just like accepting all of these hats. And then the hats are essentially worthless. But nobody wants to tell Donut that they're not going to be millionaires because the hats are worth like a penny now or something like that. That's my favorite part.
No, there were some good parts in this, but there were also some banger
Wait.
characters. Jay, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part of the book is how it deals with Frank and Maggie's death. Maggie? No. What's the name of the character?
Maggie's not
Maggie's
dead.
alive. The daughter. What's the
Yeah.
daughter? It doesn't matter. How it deals with the daughter's death. I don't know if he planned this from the start, but like the way that he went about like coming up with a solution of this is why they had to kill her and this is why they hate Carl now was genius. And I'm like, cool. It's easy, it's fast, and now we have something else to jump off of while still being able to get rid of Frank and Maggie because I think they're kind of boring villains. I like that we have an end to their characters without just letting them go to obscurity. I like that part.
Yeah. The way Frank shows up too is really cool because he's just like there in the bar
Mm-hmm.
and he gives Carl that ring, which like boosts his abilities like 5%, right?
Mm-hmm. All of his abilities.
Yeah. All of his abilities 5%. But if he kills somebody, then he has to or no, it's if you track somebody, you have to kill them, or else
You can't
every
heal.
single pain that you feel, like if you get like any sort it's sort of like Elantris actually. It's like you
Oh.
feel that pain forever.
Oh,
And it's
that's awful.
essentially like that with this ring. It's like until you kill this person, the pain you feel is gonna just stick around forever, right? I
You
understood that
can't
correctly.
heal at all.
All right, so now that we got our favorite parts out of the way, there were tons of characters. Jay, what was one character that shined for you?
Katya. I think Katya in this book like really grew as a character, and I liked her. I was like, as soon as the sister showed up, I was like, dang, I really hope he doesn't actually let her go, and he doesn't, thankfully. But like that just proved to me like, hey, this character like grew a lot with us, and I care about her now, and I don't want to see her leave. And that was a moment that I was like, oh dang, okay, that was pretty good.
Oz?
Yeah, Katya, it's gotta be. Mordecai was my last pick. He was my favorite character last, and he's just not in this one.
But
Yeah.
even then, when he is in it, he like takes a dark turn. He goes from this wise Uncle Iroh like character into this just character that's very angry in this part.
Yeah, well, so something we didn't touch on, Carl got a
Like he
fan.
hit Carl.
Well, that's after he woke up.
Well, also he had that ring on,
Yes.
and he was like, Carl was refusing to take the ring off.
That ring on the 9th floor is going to get him killed if he didn't get rid of it.
No, I get that, but like he hit Carl. You don't do that. Like what the heck is wrong with you?
But it,
Especially after, I thought that was stupid because he assaulted somebody, and that's what got him. And you only have 7 days on the train system. He was gone for like 5 of those days because he attacked somebody.
Which was his fault.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I'm like, dude, really?
yeah. Mordecai.
well, we don't know why he tried to attack that guy. And the guy was playing coy, like, well, I don't know why he would do that. It has something to do with Audette. It has something to do with Mordecai, that guy, like something with a previous run that it was either his run or a run that he was involved in that caused him to lash out that way. My question was like, why? What would invoke these feelings for him to do that?
Mordecai took a weird turn in this book that I didn't like.
Mordecai was not my favorite character of this book. Dave, who was yours?
Oh, Carl, baby.
Carl,
Yeah.
baby.
Carl, can't go wrong saying Carl.
Carl.
Yeah, Carl has been my favorite character for the past 2 books. I mean, it's his book, so
And
I would hope he's my favorite. Like,
And I'm not like Donut's great too. I love Donut. The book wouldn't be the same without Donut. She adds
Donut
a
is-
lot to these books that I really enjoy.
no, and I love that at the end of every book, Carl adds more to his saying. So, the first one was like, "You will not break me." The second one was, "You will not break me. F you all." The third one was, "You will not break me. F you all. I will break you."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm eating it up. I'm
Yeah.
eating it up like
He's
a big
just
bowl.
slurping it up.
I go,
He goes, yeah, dude. That is exactly what you're doing.
all right. So we covered our favorite parts. We covered our favorite characters. Do you guys, not that we've read book 4 yet, do we
I-
have any
Here's the
speculation?
thing. I made a note of, when it came to book 2, I took a note that I love that this book didn't answer all the questions the first book set up. Frank and Maggie, Odette and Mordecai, and the cart lady. Like, those are 3 things that, like, were set up that haven't been solved yet.
Mhm.
And there are still parts in this book that we still haven't answered. And so, I mean, I think, like, we still got to know what happens with Frank and Maggie, because we're told that Frank died. Do we know that Frank is dead? I don't know. We just heard that he died. I don't know if he's dead.
We heard that there was a rock creature that went in and smashed his head in at the bar, and the rock creature got
And it was
banned.
Chris.
Yes. We're led to believe that that's Chris. As of book 3, we are led to believe that's Chris.
Okay. In this book, we don't know about Brandon yet.
No, we
that
do.
happens at the
No,
beginning
we
of the
do.
4th book.
No, we know about Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon dies in this book. Mordecai's
It was
there.
the beginning.
Yeah, it's like at the beginning of book 3. I really enjoyed that part. Whereas, like, he wanted so desperately to keep that private that he was like, I can't, this is such an important thing to me, and I want to keep this human moment to myself and not let anybody else see this.
So, as far as like speculations go, I don't know where we're going. The AI is acting up.
Mhm.
That's a big thing that we forgot to bring up. At the end of book 2, they give out these celestial boxes, and because of what Carl and Donut did at the end, everybody that was there got a celestial box, but the Borant revoked it. They
Because-
said, no, we're not giving you that.
The Boring Company is going broke.
I think this is something we should have brought up early on because
Yeah.
this is a big deal. Borant recalled all those celestial boxes, and the AI's pissed off that it did that. And it's pissed off that they're speeding the games up so much, and it's pissed off at everything that's going on. Did the feet thing happen in this one?
No,
Or is
that
the
happens in
fourth
book
one?
4 because I'm
Okay.
just there.
That's
Though, dude,
funny.
the feet thing, though, is like a recurring thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a funny plot line.
But because it's pissed off, it's like rewarding them with other things. It's like, yeah, you didn't get the celestial box, but I'll give you this, 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 and this. And it's like, holy cow, the AI. I think the AI is going to become a problem. I think the Borant is going to push it to where I think we said last week, me and Sean were talking about, like, if we get out of the game, like, and it's like them, it's sort of like a Hunger Games-esque
I
situation.
really hope we don't go that route.
But the AI could do that. The AI can break it. It can break it all. Like if Borant pisses it off so much that it just like breaks it,
That could actually be kind of cool, though.
it would be neat. And I do think the AI becoming an issue is going to be a thing. I think it's being set up right now,
Yeah.
and I don't know how much of a like problem it's going to become. Also, we lose what's her face at the end. We lose our girl. That's one of the aliens. That's like their
Zev.
Oh,
representative.
Zev, yeah.
We lose Zev at the end.
Yeah, she goes to a re-education camp. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
she's like, they fried her brain. They
Yeah.
gave her a
we don't
lobotomy.
know- we don't know what's going to happen to Zev. Like, is Zev going to be our normal Zev when we
She's
get her
she's
back?
going to be like, there is no war in Bossing Say.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Do you have theories, you guys?
I'm with Jay. I hope they kind of keep it in the dungeon. Because, like, one thing is, like, sure, they can break the dungeon, but I feel like their abilities are restricted to the dungeon. So there's no way for them to kind of, like, give the middle finger to Bourne outside of it. Like, I feel like they'd just be, like, fried instantaneously. Towards the end of the book, there was that time where Carl didn't summon, but he, like, provoked one of the Mantars to summon their god.
Oh, this was cool.
And it turned out, so we learned that the gods in the dungeon are controlled by like people who pay a lot of money. And so it was Prince,
Yeah, Maurice or something.
Prince,
Starts with an M.
I forget his name, but it was the skull empire. That dude's definitely going to be a problem. His sister is sponsoring Katya. And
As like a fetch you, it seems like.
yes, it seems
We
like
don't
the
know
s-
that, but we're pretty sure.
Yeah, because she gave
Maestro. The
yeah,
Maestro.
Maestro, yeah. Prince Maestro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that his sister is sponsoring Katya, and we're pretty sure that she's not on board
Because
with the
she's
Maestro.
next in line after
Exactly.
the brother. Yeah.
Exactly.
So she's
Yep.
like, fetch you guys.
Yeah, so that's going to go somewhere. I'm just excited to get to another one of those persistent floors because I really liked what they did on the third floor. So I think floor 6 is the next one. I'm really excited for that. It's probably not going to be book 4. Yeah, with that one, Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, we should rename it to Dungeon Crawler Carl and
The
the
Half-Blood
Half-Blood
Prince.
Prince.
Hit the laugh button. Dungeon Crawler Carl and the Half-Blood Prince.
Good book, good book. We recommend it, especially if you made it this far. And you know what? Stick with it. We'll be here next week for book 4, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.